Good day, everyone. I'm Michelle Pigujo, a BSIT student second year, and today I'll present to you or demonstrate a mini system integration using two small subsystems, Subsystem A, the data provider, and Subsystem B, the consumer or display. In this lab, we aim to simulate a real-world scenario where two independent systems communicate using data integration. This concept is a fundamental part of integrative programming, which allow organization to have multiple systems database, and department working together efficiently. There are three main integration models like data integration, functional integration, and presentation integration. Now, we have chosen data integration for this demo because it allows one subsystem to produce structured data while another subsystem consumes it, keeping the system independent but interoperable. This approach mirrors real-world situations, such as a school database feeding student record to a student portal, or HR system providing employees information to the payroll system. Now, let, now, let me explain the two subsystems in details. Subsystem A, the data provider, is responsible for generating structured student information. It creates a file named student.txt which contains each student ID, name, and course written in a comma-separated format. This file acts as shared resources that other systems like Subsystem B can access. While Subsystem B, the consumer will display the read the student.txt file created by the subsystem A. It extracts each student data, split the information into ID, name, and course, and display it in a readable format in the console. This demonstrates how one system can use data produced by another system without altering the data provided logic. In this setup, subsystem A and B simulate two independent department systems or in an organization or a system in an organization. The key idea is that even though they are separate, they communicate efficiently through data, which is the essence of data integration. Next is the integration flow. Imagine this integration process. To better understand how these subsystems work together, let's look at the integration flow. Subsystem A first runs and generates the student data file. This file acts as a source of information, while subsystem B then runs to read that file and display the data. In the diagram form, in this form, it looks like this, where it the subsystem A provide the data while subsystem B consume it. This shows the data integration process where subsystem B out depends on the output of subsystem A. The system remains modular independent, but integration ensures they can exchange information reliable. Now this is a Java demonstration in the online GPT. In the code, we created two methods, run subsystem A and run subsystem B. Run subsystem A writes the following student record like the student.txt, where you may see it writes the name of Ana Cruz and Mark Reyes and John De La Rosa with their ID and their course. Once subsystem A finished writing the file, it prints a confirmation message. Subsystem A student data created. Subsystem B then reads the same file like line by line. This is an example where each record by commas and display each student information in a readable format on the console, like this one, this part. It it splits each record by commas and display each student information in a format. Next is the output. This is the part where it noticed that subsystem B cannot run correctly already created a file. This highlights one of the integration dependency that exists even in a simple system like in large enterprise systems. These dependencies are often handled by APIs or middleware or automated workflow to ensure reliability. In this output confirms that subsystem B could successfully consume the data provided by subsystem A. Now, reflection and challenges. This experience also allows us to reflect on some challenges that appears in system integration. Data dependency, like subsystem B depends on the file from subsystem A, so the order of execution matters. While data format consistency, if the format of the file changes, subsystem B might fail to read the data correctly, while the real-world system uses ETL pipelines or APIs to handle such dependency. Transformation requirements in more complex systems, the data might need to be converted, validated, or cleaned before consumption. Now, in real-world application in conclusion, These challenges are handled by ETL pipelines or APIs or middleware. For example, in school, the enrollment system generates student data which is then consumed by the student portal for display. In finance, like the HR system, provide employee information to payroll systems for salary computation. The concept demonstration here separate the system communication reliability through structured data is fundamentally to modern software engineering. In conclusion, this mini-system integration demonstrates how two independent subsystems can communicate effectively using data integration. Using subsystem A generates the structured data, while subsystem B consumes it. And together with them, they show how systems can work together in a modular and maintainable way. Thank you for watching everyone, and I am Mr. Pedro, a second year student, B is IT. And that's all.